Now you're on. You want to start over?
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. And our first order of business will be to approve the minutes that Jennifer had emailed each one of us.
Jennifer has them now here on the table, and I don't know if she's given you copies previously of them.
She's emailed them.
She
to
did,
us.
she emailed all of
You
them.
guys have
She said she wasn't gonna be here in the email. She emailed us the minutes.
There you go. There are 3 sets of minutes from
That's
May
right.
6th, June 17th, and June 24th.
Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Good, thank you. And good job by Jennifer for emailing ahead of time. I will get Dennis to sign. The second item, and we don't have to open a public hearing. We're entitled to go ahead with a public hearing, or we can just discuss the matter. But quite frankly, we don't have an applicant here. I talked to him about 15 minutes before the meeting, and he indicated he was still in Richmond, and he had an other businesses and wasn't sure he was going to make it. So it is an open meeting, it's open to the public, and if you guys would like to discuss the matter some, we can, or I can at least present it. Or we can just call the meeting closed and we'll have to re-advertise and do it all over again.
Well, is there any point of going through the rigmarole if he's not here?
I would say not. I think in fairness, he needs to be here to answer your questions if you're gonna have a public hearing, a formal public
Yeah,
hearing.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's totally fair to turn it down or approve it without even having the opportunity to hear from him.
I think we ought to,
A
not
motion to
just
table?
Adjourn, table it and adjourn the meeting.
Well, I don't think you even need to table it because we gotta start all over
Yeah,
again.
okay.
Okay.
We're gonna hold a separate public hearing, we're gonna have to re-advertise. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, but, I mean, you knew about it, but, no,
Any other business?
pardon?
Any other business?
Nope, there is no other business. I will tell you, however, as informational, that a building permit has been issued for some apartments on Second Street. We're pretty excited about that over there next to the lofts. That took a while
Is that
to
David?
get that site project, David
David.
McCormick's gonna be doing, or Waukesha Development,
Right, yeah,
whatever the company is. I think that's gonna be moving forward. We're working on 2 other projects right now that look like they have some merit, along with UMAC. We hope that, those kinds of things can come to fruition. Still haven't heard anything on Nottaway Commons. Why? I just don't know. I really don't know the intentions of the property owners. I think that
I think that man's bought some cheap land.
he may very well have made a good investment at some point, the water and sewer being adjacent to the property, and it may be a really good investment. He may be able to sell it at some point. Because I don't know what the county's conditions were of the sale of the property. Is he bound by any restrictions to do certain things, or do they have a right of first refusal, any of those?
Have we heard anything else about McCormick on that corner property that he bought from the town?
The tap house.
I have asked him. In fact, the mayor asked me one day, some time ago, he said, what's the schedule? So I called David, and David said he wanted to get these apartments up and going, and then he would start on the town property. So it looked like we're getting up and going on the apartment project.
And the other thing is the road going beside the shopping center that has got to be expanded for a project. Tell me about that.
Next to the shopping center or behind the shopping center?
Well, going in beside Clay's, right there, this road that goes in there by the Villa, Villa Apartments at one time.
That's Governor Street.
Governor Street.
Governor Street.
What's going on there?
Well, I can tell you there was a really tough looking apartment building back there. I mean, it was really tough.
Right.
And in fact, Al Ellington actually condemned it, and everybody had to move out.
Right.
Okay, so the owner had contacted the town, and they weren't hooked onto utilities and all that sort of thing. She was doing an upgrade. I think when she figured out really what kind of a daunting task that was going to be, she backed out. We returned her tap fees, and the building is really just a condemned shell. The property that she owns does not include most of the wooded area which fronts on Main Street. That property is owned by a separate person. But I noticed the for sale sign on the front shows both parcels on the map. The frontage as well as the property behind.
Maybe I'm describing it not describing it correctly, but not beside the shopping center, but
Are we talking at the junction of 40 and 46?
no. Coming back this direction, some of the property owners have gotten letters saying their property some of it will be condemned as a new road going through. Are you familiar with that? Are you familiar with any road going in under any condemnation in that area?
Not involved with the town, nor how we think VDOT would notify us, but no, I haven't got anything. The only thing that may have, any bearing on Route 46 that I'm familiar with is that they're putting a new bridge on the reservoir. That'll be going on like in 2022 or 2023, still some time off.
No,
But
this
they've
is,
started those meetings, but
this is,
no, I haven't got anything on the condemnation.
this is, the road going in right beside, Clay's there.
Well, that's Governor's. That's Governor's.
And I-
Street.
Hodges Street right beside.
Is that Hodges?
Yeah.
Now,
Well, at least two property owners have already gotten letters.
Hodge,
the
okay.
town is not condemning anything, we don't condemn. The only time we've ever condemned a property since I've been here,
No,
maybe even
I
before,
shouldn't say condemn, that's the wrong word.
being offered.
No, they're putting in condemned is not the right, I'm sorry about this. No, they're not condemning that
Because
property.
only the government can condemn.
Yes, but they're talking about using road condemnation to put in a new road there and expand the size of that road, which would take up part of the property. You're not familiar with any of that?
I am, I know what you're talking about now. On Hodges Street, I don't know anything about a condemnation, I don't know of any partnership with the town, but I've been presented some plans for the property which sits behind Walmart and Food Lion, and that they intend on using Hodges Street as one of their entrances into the.
Well, can they force a condemnation of that property?
Nope.
Well, they said, the letters indicated that they could.
If you can give me a copy of that letter.
Well, the party I talked to is now in Florida.
Who?
She's in Florida, I think, the one I talked to. Either in Florida or
Has Billy got anything?
I haven't heard him talk.
Man,
about
Eric
it.
would've called me on that, I'm sure, because they own.
They own the whole,
Quite a
the
bit of
whole
that
side
on
of
one
that
side.
now.
more than one letter was sent out evidently, and came by to see me and talked to me about it briefly. We had other business to discuss, but I told them on that
The town's not involved in any condemnation, nor would we.
Who did you say the letter came from?
you know, I didn't see the letter myself.
Oh.
They told me what they'd gotten was a letter saying if they didn't sell the property, that it would be taken.
They can't do that. Private business can't do it, and we don't, the town doesn't have any expansion plans on Hodges Street or Pickett Street, which is the T. If you take Hodges and it terminates, there's actually a public street,
Oh,
and
that's
then
what
one
I
that
said.
runs, it runs to the parking lot of Walmart and actually runs to that Kinston property. back
Yeah, the
there.
couple that owns that property only stays there during hunting season.
Yeah, the one's from New Hampshire or Maine or something.
They're from, yeah, and they go down to Florida, and they're in between, and they're the ones that got the letter.
I don't know anything about it. It's not the town doing it. And private,
Who else could do it?
nobody. It's a town street. So if the town's not involved, it can't be done. Nottaway County doesn't do it. VDOT doesn't have jurisdiction over the streets in town.
I think it's worth, maybe, I told them not to sign anything, don't do
No,
anything,
we're
but
not agree to anything.
they act as though it was imminent. And they
Can't be
talked to
done.
a couple of neighbors had gotten letters.
There's
I'll-
already public streets platted there. The only one that's actually paved is Hodges Street. The Pickett Street, and I think there's another one that runs back to the Kempton property, adjacent to the Walmart property. Those are actually platted streets dedicated to the town. They've just never been opened,
They
never
have-
used.
Right.
So
I
it's
told her
impossible.
I hadn't heard anything about it, and I drove out there and I couldn't figure out what was going
The
on.
only thing I know of going on out there is that there's a group who has a contract to purchase that property from Kenston Forest, behind Walmart, and one of their intended entrances is on 46, and this would be a second intended.
Is this for housing? Is that,
What they've discussed with me would be housing. I don't have any tangibles
Right.
to show you guys.
But could they force
No,
anything?
government has to do that, a government entity.
And they've
Well,
never
except-
approached me or the town or the council that I know.
Except when the government gets involved for economic gain.
It
You remember
sounds-
that?
It sounds like you got somebody that's trying to intimidate
that's what
somebody.
it sounded like
That's
to
what it
me.
sounded like to me, and I told them obviously not to do anything.
They can't condemn it that I know of. Their private entity can't condemn. And we've condemned twice since I've been here. One time when we put in a culvert, but the people were deceased and we couldn't find them. And that's why we had to do the condemnation. And the other one, we did some sidewalk down on Nottaway Avenue, and we had to buy a 5-foot easement for the sidewalk. And we couldn't get a hold of folks. But I don't see the town ever doing a condemnation unless,
Do you know who else
life or death.
might live along that street?
Who?
Who else lives along that street?
I'll rent
Hodges
Larry
Street's all
Williamson.
rented.
Larry Williamson owns a couple of the rental houses down through there. And I'll bet you Larry Williamson knows the law better than I do when it comes to that sort of thing. And I bet they didn't send him a letter.
I'll talk to Larry. I'll call him. next
Larry
week.
owns the first, I think.
He owns the first house there, I know.
I'll
And
call
maybe
Larry.
two of them that he
Yeah, I
owns.
think it is two of them.
But Billy hadn't seen anything.
I haven't talked to him.
Everything Billy's got is on the other side of the road,
Yeah, well,
behind
Billy,
Clay's.
yeah, Billy owns the whole side of the street going up the right-hand side of Hodges.
And the rental house down at the end, didn't he buy that
Yes.
too? Or Eric or
And he just
somebody?
bought a little small lot from Virginia Cole to finish off, you know, owning the whole block in there.
Yep, I think it's,
I don't think it has anything to do with the town, I know, but
Okay.
I have had people talk to me about using that as an entrance for a development behind.
well, that's what was indicated in the letter. It's gonna be used as a truck rack.
A shrub.
Truck rack. Trucking being to go into this property with trucks, et cetera. for-
During construction.
Yeah, during construction.
I know nothing of it. And the town, I
I'd
would
like
say
to-
would not condemn it for a private.
No, I'd like to get my hands on that letter,
Please do.
find out who wrote it. I'll-
You know, we'll make a public statement at the council meeting and bring it to the next council. But that's the first I hear of it.
Well, I don't know enough about it to discuss it yet, and I'll try to get my hands on a letter from somebody down there.
Larry Williamson probably would know,
Yep, I think so.
because he does own property, and Billy, I would think would know, but Eric or Billy haven't mentioned it.
And mentioned him.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Their motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
I could've stayed a little.